We're going to go to Washington now, where the nation's top intelligence officials have issued stark warnings about America's national security threats, directly contradicting President Trump on North Korea, Iran, and ISIS. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Wright, is covering the story. Martha, it is so unusual to see this kind of daylight between a president and his national security team.
It sure is, George. And as Donald Trump heads into the second half of his term, those contradictions could not only have political consequences, but foreign policy consequences as well, since it seems that President Trump disagrees with his intelligence officials on almost everything.
In just a few short weeks, President Trump will once again meet Kim Jong-un about North Korea's nuclear arsenal, a nuclear threat that Trump declared over last year.
So many things have happened so positive.
But his hand-picked intelligence officials disagree.
The regime is committed to developing a long-range nuclear armed missile that would pose a direct threat to the United States.
And on Iran, another contradiction from the Director of National Intelligence.
The world's leading state sponsor of terror will be on the cusp of acquiring the world's most dangerous weapons.
We do not believe Iran is currently undertaking activities we judge necessary to produce a nuclear device.
And ISIS?
We have won against ISIS. We've beaten them, and we've beaten them badly.
ISIS is intent on resurging and still commands thousands of fighters in Iraq and Syria.
And this morning, just a short time ago, the president was tweeting about ISIS, saying there has been tremendous progress since he became president, and saying the ISIS caliphate would soon be destroyed. And as for North Korea, the president tweeted that there is a decent chance they will denuclearize. George?
And Martha, yesterday the Pentagon said that at the president's direction they're sending several thousand more troops to the border, but that intelligence assessment doesn't even cite a security threat at the border.
Right. 2,000 additional active duty troops will head down there. Those troops on the border have already cost hundreds of millions of dollars. And, George, the report didn't even mention drug cartels or Mexico until halfway through the report. The report clearly concluding there are much greater threats. George.
Okay, Martha Wright, thanks very much. Also in Washington, Republicans and Democrats in Congress have started to talk again about how to keep the government open. President Trump still insists he wants several $1 billion for a border wall. Tweeted this morning the negotiators are wasting their time if they don't fund his wall. But for now, at least, the legislators are trying to see if they can come to an agreement themselves. Some are trying to pass a bill to prevent future shutdowns. The next deadline, February 15th.